Major League Baseball players were polled anonymously by The Athletic recently. Always love these.
Yeah, you get to see what people actually think.
Well, not just people, what players
Yes, what players think.
Players are people, too.
Well, they are, Buckley.
Can I also say, as far as players go, it really pains me to say it, but I love Bryce Harper.
Yeah?
I love
Why
him.
does that pain you?
Because I used to think he was such a douche.
He was in the douche category for a while.
And he's a Philly, and I want to hate the Phillies because the Mets suck, but I find the Phillies in general likable. I find Bryce Harper extremely likable. He might be my favorite non-Met, and I don't know how to feel about that. I'm very conflicted. There's a lot of emotions going on.
Well, douches grow up.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just young.
Yeah. He seems like a cool dude.
I think he gets it now.
Yeah.
But he certainly has, or had, douchey tendencies.
Yeah.
No question. So they polled about 120 players. I think it's actually 122 total players, evenly split between leagues, all anonymous, so they could speak truthfully.
Yeah.
Or vote truthfully. Best player in the league. Not a shock.
I'm assuming Shohei Ohtani.
It was indeed Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah. I mean,
but he only got 46% of the vote.
Okay. That's still, what was the next closest?
Ronald Acuna Jr. came in second at 26.5%.
So there's still a giant gap there.
Yeah.
And it should be. I understand there's some jealousy and people think that, some people are overrated, but how are you going to make an argument that there's someone better than that guy?
And then you had Betts and Judge.
Yeah.
Most overrated player in MLB. 20%.
Interesting.
So it was they were a little split here. Juan Soto even got a vote
for most overrated player.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
boy, that's fascinating. But again, a lot of times, people that are really good. It wouldn't shock me if Ohtani was high on this list because when you're really good,
he is not.
People are going to take shots at you. I'm trying to think of who would be really overrated.
So here's what.
Oh, I'm going with De La Cruz.
He is on the list, but he's down a ways. And that's interesting.
He gets a lot of attention, and there's some big holes in his game.
Yeah, there are. I mean, he hits. I don't know what he's hitting right now, but he strikes out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 240 hitter, 230, something like that. Here's what the player said. There was one player that cast a vote for Juan Soto being overrated, and the player said, "Could be a spite pick, to be honest. I feel all he does is walk and hit singles and doesn't hit for power like he's portrayed. Okay. Also, not a good fielder."
All right, see, I was going to say, there's got to be someone that, there's always one person that takes a shot no matter how good you are.
Well, it's probably a pitcher who has his number.
Yeah.
He's like, that guy ain't that good.
Well, dude, someone's going to give him a buttload of money, and it may be the Mets.
Okay, so the most overrated player, according to Players, is Jazz Chisholm.
Oh, which, if you don't know, he's toiling down there in Miami, and they stink to high heavens.
Yeah, he plays for the Marlins.
Is he having a good year? I haven't.
Well, he's okay.
I don't pay attention to the Marlins.
I think this comes from the fact that he was the cover boy for the show.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of players got pissed about that.
Yeah.
They put him on the video game cover, and he's not that. I mean, he's a decent player, but he's not that good.
Well, that's why I thought about De La Cruz, is because he gets a lot of attention, and he's flashy on the base pass, but, he's probably hitting 210. I gotta look this up.
Chisholm probably 240. He's the same type of guy. 240.
Chisholm is hitting 249, 9 and 31.
Yeah, he's not bad
for a garbage team.
Not bad.
What's De La Cruz hitting?
Not very good.
I'm gonna say under that.
Yeah, he's dynamite on the base pass, and you see a lot of highlights of him. But when you actually look at his numbers,
He's got a ton of steals.
Yeah.
He's an athletic freak too. He makes his throws across the diamond are always very impressive.
He is fun to watch.
Yeah, he's hitting 233.
Yeah.
And 11 home runs, 29 RBI. So kind of about the same that.
But how many steals though? He's just.
Yeah, he's got 34.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. He might steal 100.
Yeah,
we haven't seen that in years.
Sweats a lot.
Was the last time
of
we
bases.
Looked that up there, research boy?
Last time we had 100 steals.
Yeah, was that? Do you have to go back to Ricky?
Gosh, 100 steals. No major player has swept 100 bases in a season since 1987, 109.
You do have to go back to Ricky.
It is not Ricky.
Willie McGee.
No, there's
Vince Coleman.
There you go. Vince. Still 109.
God.
What year?
1987.
Other players listed as overrated. Anthony Rendon. He just sucks now. I don't
Yeah,
even
he's
know
not
why.
any good.
Yeah. Other overrateds: Carlos Correa, Alex Bregman, and Jack Flaherty.
Is it possible too that the shine has come off the Astros? Like,
Well, Correa's in Minnesota now, but he hasn't done much.
well, I was
since
thinking
Houston.
Bregman, but yeah.
And last but not least, the organizations that players least want to play for.
That you least want to play for. I'm going to say it's got to be the A's.
The A's are number one.
Yeah. I mean, why else?
Followed by the White Sox and the Rockies.
None of that's a surprise.
No. But then, the last two in the top 5 there.
Are my Giants in there?
The Giants are not. Why would you be worried about that?
That's been a thing this year. People have been talking about
They don't want to play for the Giants?
No, they're doing the whole everybody sees what's on TV and what's happening in the city there, and people don't want to go live there. They don't think it's safe. La 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 la.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's been
Okay,
a narrative. I think their own GM came out and said that's been a problem in luring free agents, which
really?
ticked off a lot of fans.
Like Aaron Judge didn't want to go play in that city?
He didn't say that specifically, but he said it's been a problem for them trying to lure talent.
Well, Seattle's way down there too. Like not a lot of players want to play in Seattle. The other two in the top 5 least want to play for the Angels.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
But you're in Anaheim, so it's got to be really bad organizationally to not want to be there.
No, that organization's garbage.
Well, definitely, but
it's garbage. They have MVPs and they don't do jack squat. When's the last time the Angels were relevant? Hasn't Trout's been to the postseason one time, right?
Yep. I mean, they won the World Series against the Giants in 2002. That's the last time they were good.
And the 5th team?
Big market, small market.
Big.
Mets?
No, it's not the Mets. Oh,
the New York Mets.
The Mets?
Nobody wants to play for the Mets.
What's wrong with the Mets? Get you a bunch of money.
What do you mean what's wrong with the Mets? The players know what's wrong with the Mets. They don't want to go there. They want to play there.
I would have thought it'd be like the Marlins or the Rays.
The
Marlins are a mess, and no one wants to go play in Tampa.
I'm surprised it wasn't Tampa.
The Marlins, I bet, get a pass because guys want to live in Miami.
But that's why I thought Anaheim would get a pass because people want to live near L.A.
No, but it's near L.A. It's not L.A.
Yeah.
Tampa, I'm surprised Tampa's not.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
I would have put Tampa in the top 3 or 4. I know they're pretty good, but it's a...
Well, they're not this year, but they have been.
That you playing in that ballpark, Tampa's not a bad city, but, it's tax-free. But it's a bad fan base, worst stadium in the league besides the A's.
Top teams that players want to play for, and I was surprised by the number 1 team because they have, their contracts that they've signed with some of their players have been very club friendly.
Oh, well then I already know who you're talking about.
The Atlanta
Braves. It pisses
Braves.
me off. It's the stupid Braves. Every one of those jackasses signed a team-friendly deal, and they're all locked up.
Yeah.
Even though they're all getting hurt.
They're number 1.
They're all locked up for years.
And I can see why they're number 1 when you think a lot of guys want to live in Atlanta.
Sure.
And the Braves are really, really good.
Yeah. And it's always been known as a good organization for a long time. I'm assuming the Dodgers are up there.
The Red Sox are 2nd, Dodgers 3rd.
Red Sox 2nd, huh?
Rangers 4th. Yeah, I think Fenway has a
little allure to it. I just wondered, Boston, there's not a lot of African-American players, but the Latin players, you just hear a lot of, for minorities, people don't want to be in Boston. I'm surprised. I wouldn't have guessed Boston being up there.
Then you have the Yankees and the Cubs.
Yeah. So basically all the major cities.
Except for the Mets.
And the Angels. People hate the Angels.
That's right. That from The Athletic, a Major League Baseball players anonymous poll.